learned about Peterka just for watching film, coaching against them? Obviously, that's a guy who could be on your team this season.
Well, he's a dynamic athlete and an explosive hockey player. Certainly excited to really now get a chance to be on the ice and start working with him, and then we'll see what happens at camp. But from coaching at the international level, and we were slated to play Germany if the Worlds didn't get canceled a couple of years ago when I was at USA, and so I watched him closely, and I knew the dangers that a lot of that berth year was going to possess. But JJ is one of those rare guys that has the speed and the skill and the explosiveness of elite, dynamic offensive players, but also has the lurking goal-scoring ability that more of the intelligent offensive players have. So he is shown at the younger age groups to have that really good combination of speed mixed with the cerebral goal-scoring ability that all special goal scorers have.
Quinn and Luukkonen ended the season last year with injuries. Are they okay? Are they going to be able to go with this tournament?
Yeah, they're both good. Quinn's in great shape. He's had a phenomenal summer, and Upi is going to be out there today with us as well. And we're hopeful that he'll be able to go this week. But he's in good shape. He looks strong. He looks like he's had a powerful summer. But Quinner is absolutely had a very impactful summer in his training, both in the weight room and the work he did on the ice to improve some pieces of his game.
As far as JJ goes, I guess this is his first time in Buffalo. I mean, he didn't get to do the normal things a draft pick would do. Have you been able to sense any excitement from him that he, finally beginning for him that he's here?
Oh yeah, he's buzzing. You can feel the energy from him, and that's important. Those are exciting things for our franchise to have players of his caliber. Jack Quinn and Pekka Luukkonen and these guys that some have been here, JJ has not, but everybody, even the guys that were here last year that played for us, even the Samuelsons and Ruotsalainen and these guys that even some played in Buffalo, none of them have had a real NHL, very few of them have had a real NHL training camp and a real NHL rookie camp and a rookie tournament. And these are important things to start establishing themselves in the franchise, but also for us to start establishing the identity we want to keep building going forward.
What are you looking for from Jack in terms of how he can use that summer?
Well, I think that he's put a ton of work in. With the beauty of Jack is he's really coachable. And so when you tell Jack Quinn to go attack an area of his game in practice last year, he does. When you watch video with him, he is listening, he is absorbing, he wants to get better. He reminds me of a lot of those elite American kids I coached at the national program. And this summer we challenged him to keep improving his shot and his release and how quick his release can be because he could power past junior goalies, but the release is more important in how quickly you get it off and how deceptive you are in pro. And then we challenged him to get better in his skating so he can be even more powerful in how he transitions from offense to defense and defense to offense. So we're looking to see those things, and then we're also moving him to center. So he will play center this week as well. Well, we'll start with this week, but we started that last year. And if he didn't have surgery to end it, the last 10 to 15 games, he would have been a center for us. I think he played 3 at center and was very, very good at it. We've always believed as an organization he has traits of a center, and now we'll start the process.
When you look at guys who were in the NHL last year, how much do you want to make sure they just not try to do too much at a prospect camp? They're still trying to learn. Like you said, they haven't even had a normal camp.
Right.
How do they balance? Well, I was in the NHL. I want to get back there and not, accelerate things too much for themselves.
Well, they do, right, want to get back there. And some of them performed very well. Ruotsalainen performed very well. I think Samuelson performed very well. Pekka Luukkonen performed well. But something we talked a lot about in Rochester, and I grabbed our returners from Rochester yesterday to talk to them about mindset and trying to be great where your feet are, right, and staying in the present. And none of us are ready to impact the NHL lineup in such a way that we're ready to just walk in the NHL and start dominating. So even if they are in the NHL, they got to get better. And so the mindset here this week for all of us is we have to fight every day to get better individually and collectively. If that means that some of those guys get to the NHL sooner than later, that's great. But we're trying to create a mindset in our young prospects, and we started with this in Rochester last year, that we want to have a growth mindset. We want to attack things every day, and we want to accept the adversity that they're going to face along the way, because that adversity that they face is going to fuel future growth in their game.
You mentioned building an identity. Part of that's obviously it. What are the key points for building an identity?
Well, you want to be a team that's difficult to play against, that's demanding to play against. You want to be a team that's fast and attacking in style, especially with how many our young core that we have, not only in prospects but in the organization. So I think we want to be a fast, aggressive, attacking team organization. We want to be an organization that's demanding to play against. We want to be an organization that wins puck battles and makes life difficult on our opponents at both ends of the ice in terms of getting to the blue paint. And making life miserable on our opponent's goalie and making life miserable on our opponent's forwards trying to get to our net. Well, he's a play driver, and there's not a lot of there's not a ton of wingers that are play drivers. A lot of times wingers are guys that get out early on offense and can score, or they have some defensive deficiencies to their game, and that's why maybe they play wing, but they have some other great strengths. Jack is a play-driving winger when he used to be a wing. So that's number one. Number two, he is incredibly intelligent, and he has a cerebral intelligence to how he attacks the game, both on the ice and also in how he looks at the game off the ice and how much he wants to get better. When you ask Jack about players he admires and who he looks at, he can talk about Patrice Bergeron and players like that. And so we believe that he has a lot of traits mentally, physically, and competitively that are going to make him a really effective centerman.
One of your invitees, Thomas Casey, he's small, but he's a real big scorer in the Quebec League. Are you intrigued by him?
Oh, we're very excited. We're very excited to see him. I mean, he had a really good year last year, and I think in a normal year, right, where it wasn't COVID and maybe it was a full season and maybe a chance to be in the playoffs, he might have earned other opportunities already than he's already had. So he had a fantastic season. His numbers speak for themselves in a very good major junior league. So we're extremely excited to see what he can bring to us this week.
You want to see Quinn and Peterka together as much as possible this week?
Quinn and Peterka are going to start together today. Quinner's going to play center. JJ's going to play the off wing, which has been normal for him. We have a lot of left shot forwards right now, so some guys have to play the off wing. I'm less worried about forwards playing the offside. It's a little harder for defensemen to play the offside. JJ feels very dangerous coming on the offside, so we are starting with Quinn at center and Peterka on his wing. And Brett Murray will be the left wing, and he can add a lot of physicality and size, along with really good goal-scoring touch around the blue paint.
For Ukko, what do you need to see from him as he advances? What do you hope to learn more about him and see him progress?
Well, I think what we've already learned about him is what a great competitor he is, and the presence and the confidence he gives his team in front of them. Some goalies are really good, and some goalies give their team a swagger. Ukko gives his team a swagger, and he's done that everywhere he's ever been. And he has a great presence to where when you're on the bench and bad things are happening and you're spinning, you kind of look down and you just have a feeling that the big guy's back there and he's got everything under control for us. And so that's really important in a goaltender. I think what we're looking for all of the young guys is just consistency of excellence, right? And that consistency of excellence is not just in games, it's in practice habits, it's in how you take care of yourself, it's how you show up at the rink every day to get better. And all of those daily choices you're making when you're chasing excellence lead to you being consistent in games. And, obviously he's had injuries. And so that's part of becoming more consistent is trying to stay healthy through a demanding pro season. And all of those things, we're excited to see him take the next step in.
You mentioned a lot of these guys haven't experienced a lot of normal year. How much are you looking forward to a more normal year?
Yeah. Last year was certainly different. I'm excited about it. I mean, I've really been itching to get here. A lot of Zoom calls in the last month with my staff, with the player development staff, with Kevin and Jason, with Donnie and his staff. But you can only plan and Zoom call so much. And to be able to get in a room yesterday with the player development guys and with our staff and kind of go through the plan for the week, is very exciting. And it's energizing as a coach. I mean, this is why I coach. I love helping young players chase their dreams and try to become great players. And so this is the process that starts here today.
Do you plan to use Ruotsalainen at center? And is that because maybe you don't have a lot of centers here, and or is that good for his next step as these weeks continue here?
We're going to use Ruotsalainen at center this week. I think the beauty of R2, and we talk about this with a lot of our players, is versatility. If you can only play center, there's only 4 spots available on any franchise at any moment, right? And if you can play all 3 forward positions, there's 12 spots, 13 spots that are open for you. And we talked to R2 about that last year in Rochester, and I moved him to wing. Probably it hurt us in Rochester, but it helped him in his readiness to come to Buffalo because we thought he'd probably at least start at wing. That doesn't mean he's going to be a wing for his career in the National Hockey League. But we are going to play him at center this week. We feel confident that R2 can play any one of the 3 positions, and we're going to keep helping him in that process.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you.